We have 4 startups that participated in CodeN in one of the last years who are going to be up on stage here to have a little chat about how things went since then. The person hosting this, as I said, someone who's at the forefront of digital innovation, and I'm very happy to introduce to you Nikolaus Röttger, who is editor-in-chief at Wired magazine Germany.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, welcome to this alumni talk, and happy that you stayed or joined. I'm not the main person on stage. The main persons are over there, and please welcome on stage the CodeN alumni for this talk. A little bit of applause, please. So, may I introduce it to you, Anne, marketing manager at a startup called Thermondo. It's a heating startup, so she will tell us what this has to do with digitalization. Then we have Malte from, these 3 guys are all doing, not really, kind of big data stuff. You two at least, and you do geolocated stuff. So this is Malte from a company called consite. You're based in Munich. And we have Björn. He's the co-founder of GPredictive. And then we have Sasha, business development manager at a company called Virtuality. And I thought the best thing would be to start with these guys explaining what they actually do with their startups. So I would start with you. And what are you doing with Thermondo? Are you a plumber?
No, we're not. So Thermondo is a technology-driven provider for heat solutions, or in other words, we're a craftsman business, but we do things slightly different than the regular plumber. Which means that we deliver the heating installation 2.0. So to say, that's how we always call it internally. And how we do that is by establishing different process innovations throughout the whole value chain of heating installation. And that starts with an algorithm-based offer creation. So we came up with this. We have the biggest product database when it comes to heatings in Germany. And we wrote this algorithm that enables us to create heating offers based on only 15 data points of the customer.
So does this mean if I need a new heating, I go to your website and then I do what?
You just go online and you fill in a form, basically, with 15 data points. And based on that,
I have to answer questions.
Yeah, you have to answer questions like, what is your current fuel type? Which fuel type do you want in the future? How is your isolation in your home, etc. And based on that, we're able to create a fixed price offer. And that offer doesn't change. Whereas when you go to traditional plumbers, they need to see your home. They have to see the boiler room and have to figure out all the details in order to create their offers, and that can take a long while. But
how do you know that the heating will fit in my home? It's not too big or too small, and that.
So we do the price with the 15 data points, and then we have a central a consultation team that is in our offices in Berlin, and they give you a detailed consultation, and they ask more questions about your boiler room, the height of the room, the dimensions of the door, so the heating fits in, and all that. So we basically do a central consultation, and then we do the installation locally. So our craftsmen see the construction site for the first time when they come to your house. So that's the difference.
And then you also maintain the heating, your heating?
Yeah, we also maintain. So we also rethought the whole installation itself. So our cars have a standardized system. We have just-in-time delivery to the construction site. We work with manufacturers directly, and yeah, all sorts of other things. Our craftsmen have an app. They can order their the pieces for the car or for the installation through QR codes, basically, and then we send them those pieces based on that. So we're rethinking the whole value chain, basically.
How do you came up with this idea? I mean, it's not.
I didn't come up with it. It was
Okay.
our founders.
How did they come up?
Yeah. So we started as a different business model. We used to be called Heizkostensenken.de, and we were basically a lead generation model in the beginning, and then we realized that we have to do a vertical integration basically in order to provide the quality that we want to provide in the heating installation, and also in order to create a sustainable business model. So the idea, or Thermondo derived from that idea.
And that is like 2 years ago?
That is 2 years ago, or 1.5 years ago. So in October 2013, we became Thermondo, and that's when I joined too. And yeah, since then we're a craftsman business basically, but we're digitalizing that sector.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much. Malte, I know that what you're doing is quite complicated. No, it's not really complicated, but yeah, please explain it to us.
Maybe I cannot explain it easily, but I think it's
I will ask
definitely not
questions.
that complicated.
If I don't understand it, I will ask
Okay.
questions.
So consite is providing software in a specific kind of business, which is called geo-marketing. And geo-marketing is kind of combining geo-data with business data. And you can use it, and we have specific programs or applications for example, finding business locations for stores, for haircutters, or for whatever. So for every kind of local business. We also provide a software for not only...
Can I just ask you, does it mean, for example, if I want to open a shoe shop in Hanover?
Or if Thermondo wants to open new subsidiaries all over
Yeah,
Germany.
if Thermondo wants to open a shop somewhere.
Yeah.
Then I could go to your site and do what?
Yeah, we have two approaches. The first approach is like going top down. That means you ask the question, where in Germany I can find the best retail store locations. This is what we, for example, did for Rossmann last year. And the other approach is for a specific
For
location.
the big Rossmann
So if you,
drug chain.
yeah, exactly.
No, not drug, but drogerie. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know in English.
drugstore.
Drugstore. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other approach is to go bottom up. That means if you have a specific location, just an address, and for that address you want to know what happens if I open a business here. And with our software, you can not only calculate, for example, who are the competitors or how many people are in my catchment area. We also provide revenue predictions, which is based on predictive analysis, which combines many different data on demand. And yeah, with this product, we also started here at Code N in 2012.
That means if I have a house and want to open a shop in there or want to lend it to someone, I could go to your website and find out, is it better to give it to someone who has a shoe shop or who has a, I don't know, sport shop?
Yeah, but you have to try it out because we cannot provide a logic which automatically decides which is the best shop type here. So you have to check what happens if I open a shoe store here or if I open a bicycle store, whatever.
So you have to do both, and then your software tells
You have to know what you want to do.
Revenue there would
Yeah.
be that, and revenue there would be that.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do you have the data to make the predictions, and where do you have all these geodata from? You must have a big database.
Yeah, that's true. We have data from really many sources, and the most important one is from a company who's called PanAddress. They provide this geo-marketing data based on based on an area level, which is very, very slow. That small. That means we divided Germany in 9 million different small parts, and for every of these 9 million parts, we know nearly everything. So we know what is the purchasing power, how many inhabitants do we have, how many unemployed people do we have, how many people from abroad, and so far and so on. And this is one data source, and there are many other data sources also from the administration, from the German administration, from the Statistics Bureau, and also from other sources. And what is very important, everything is based on a mapping API. So we started with Google Maps, and in 2011, I think, we switched to Bing Maps because it was more, it fits more to our software.
Okay. Last question for this round. As I understood, you offer this, on the one hand, software as a service, right? So I can go to your website and just do it.
Yeah.
But then I'm sure when you work together with Rossmann, they just didn't go to your website, and so you're also consulting companies?
Yeah, so they do, Rossmann, for example, does both. So they are using our software as a service for their bottom-up questions, but for their top-down questions, it's kind of a project because there are so many different questions that every retailer has, so you can't build a standard software for such kind of business.
And did you still find locations for drugstores? I mean, there are so many Rossmanns, DMs, and Putney Coffee.
We did, yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, we did.
All right, cool. Thank you for this. Björn, what are you doing?
Well, basically...
Big data stuff.
Sorry? Big data stuff, yes. Well, basically, what we're doing is we tell our customers who's going to buy and who's not. I mean, I think that's the promise that every big data company has out there. So to give you an idea, one of our customers has about 1 million customers of his own in his database, and they carry out campaigns all the time, direct mail and catalogs, and they do outbound telesales. And let's say they want to send a letter to about 50,000 people. Then the question is, who are the best 50,000 in the database for this offer right now? And whenever they have those questions, we just score all their customers in the database for this particular case. And for every customer in the database, we give them the probability of buying after they receive this letter. And so yeah, they can then just pick the best 50,000, and it's very easy. They don't have to do anything with the data. They don't have to do anything with statistics. It's just there.
So is this about products or price, or how do you figure out who's going to buy what? I mean, if Anna wants to sell a heating, she could go to you and say, do you need her customer base, or do you have your own customer base, or how do you work?
Well,
how do you know how old the heating system of the people is?
You have to tell us.
Oh.
Well, because the thing is, we don't collect any data from other places. Well, we do enrich data sometimes, but basically we work on the existing data of our customers, because what we do is pattern recognition, especially in the former transactions, in the purchases that the customers did the year before, 5 years before, and by buying this and that, people are revealing so much with regard to their preferences that we are able to predict what they're doing next.
Can you make it more precise? Do you have a customer you can talk about? You can say, look, this customer wanted to sell pink shoes too, and we figured out it would be best to... Do you have an example like this?
Right, yeah. There's a medium-sized company...
Which is? Oh, okay.
Called Ascofarm. It's quite a good stereotype for our customers. Medium-sized. They have got a very nice business. Very valuable. They send, I don't know actually in English, but...
Say it in German. Who's not speaking German?
I don't even know it in German, actually.
They sell stuff.
Yeah, healthy stuff to make you feel better.
Okay.
They are not pharmacists, but you know.
Yeah.
they use things like this, vitamins and this. And yeah, and they've got a large database. And well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, they're about 50 people, and to be able to do all this pattern recognition, usually you have to have a data mining team. That's usually 3 or 4 people. You have to have all the software, you have to have the hardware, and you have to be able to, to control all the processes behind this. And yeah, they wouldn't be able to set up this for themselves, at least not efficiently.
Okay, because now they know it's better to email to those 30 people than to email to those 1,000 people.
Oh yes, that's what they get. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Whenever they say, we've got too much of this in stock, who are the best? Let's say 5,000 to tell them to buy this. We just deliver it, and it's there in real time. Otherwise, it'll take ages really to do the selection.
Cool.
And then it's not as good.
Thank you so far. Data Virtuality. That's your company.
Right, yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, we address a problem that every e-commerce company is facing. That's a fact. Let me give you an example. I mean, nowadays, if you want to be successful as an e-commerce company, it's all about knowing your customer, really knowing him to be able to address him with the right content, with the individual content, with the right product at the right time, with the right email at the right time. So it's all about knowing your customer. And the funny thing is that there are more than 1,000 solutions out there in the market, in the e-marketing market, that give you interesting information about your customers. You know where they come from via Google Analytics. You know which path they took in your shop. You know what they bought recently in your CRM system.
And what they will buy if they use GPredictive.
If they use your solution,
yes,
right?
Yes, true.
But it's the fact is that all this information by itself is no insight. It's just information. And if you want to create insight for your company to monetize on data, you have to bring it together with data from other systems, from other silos. And that's a real technical challenge especially for mid-sized e-commerce company to break these data silos down and combine data, extract data, etc. pp. It's very technical stuff. And our solution gives you the advantage to automatize lots of that stuff and to make it affordable for even a mid-sized company doing that.
Is it just collecting data, or is it also giving meaning to these data?
It's collecting data from all these various data sources. You have to imagine it's like every kind of this system talks a different language. One of them talks French, the other one Italian, the other one maybe even an Asian language or something. And if you want to combine that data together to get meanings out of it, it won't happen because it's a different language. And what Data Virtuality does, it gives you the feeling that every kind of these data sources speaks one language and is combinable. So it's enabling, let's say, data analysts or BI analysts, technical people to do within one day what they would need in a traditional way with old-fashioned technology, like 3 or 4 months.
How can I imagine it? I have, after the process is done, a dashboard, and I have all the informations from this is the pricing, that is what he shopped, and so everything combined. And this is what he shopped at, I don't know, at my Amazon store, and that is what he shopped at my eBay store. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we concentrate on that core of giving you that view on every data source. But dashboard isn't our business. We are like something like a middleware. The tech guys and ladies will know what I'm talking about. And the dashboards and front-end stuff and the reports and the fancy diagrams, you have to do them via any kind of front-end that's available, like ClickView or Tableau or even Excel or whatever. So our solution is in between data source and visualization tool. You can use whatever you want to. Yeah.
All right. When did you take part at the Code-N competition? Which year?
Last year.
Last year. And how was your experience
Well,
last year and since then?
Well, it was awesome in terms of the amount of leads we generated. Like I said, it's a problem that nearly every e-commerce company is facing. So we came home from the fair and we had like boxes of how you say in English?
Business cards.
Business
cards. It's old-fashioned business card. We got LinkedIn Xing. Okay. We had boxes, and we really did a lot of calling, qualifying the leads, evaluating. We had proof of concepts at company, really big companies, even like Renault in France and E.ON in Germany. So
you're working for them now?
That's still a very long sales cycle at these kind of companies. So you really like, if you're selling such a solution, you have selling cycles that really take 12 up to 24 months. And this is an important lesson we learned. We decided to focus on companies we do have a shorter sales cycle. So that was a major learning out of CeBIT, and a message that I would like to spread out to all the guys here in the crowd, that it's if you're a young company selling to a big enterprise, a B2B technical solution, you have a long path to go, because the buyers at a big company, they look at completely different things and ROE stuff than if you sell it to a young, visionary, revolutionary company. And so we have had much more success when we focus on these kind of segment. Yeah.
How was your experience, Malte? Since Code-N?
Yeah, 2012.
2012.
This was the year where we in the competition, and we have been here since 2012 for every year. That means 13, 14, 15 now. And yeah, as we are providing not only products but also generic software, for us it's more or less a platform to meet customers and also to generate leads, not for the product itself, because the product itself is something we cannot promote here, because the prospects will not check any booth of these here. But for the project business, for us, it is really very, very successful, because I think we can say every year we had a major lead which we could convert into a project. So we hope this year will be the same. We have some hope that one meeting that we had today could lead to that. We're not quite sure. But
that's good, because I met him this morning and he said, oh, there are now no people, but this was really in the morning. There was
it was 2 o'clock.
Oh, the meeting was 2 o'clock, okay. Great. And for Thermondo?
So we were here 2 years ago, and for us...
Just after the start? Or after the renaming?
When we still were Heizkostensenken, actually.
Right.
And for us, Code-N was a great PR opportunity, basically. So we got exposure in consumer media through Code-N, and we were really thankful for that.
Cool. And did anybody of you find new investors? I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
You did too? You two did?
Yeah, two.
Yeah, two. You too?
We were not looking for them.
All right, but you three did.
Found them anyway, or?
We had them before, yeah.
All right, okay.
So then, since then, you found new investors?
Yeah, we did. So we have E.ON on board now, and
E.ON?
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2 other investors, and Code-N was basically the start for us.
Sure.
And yeah.
Great.
The same for you, Malte?
Yeah, we found an investor. It is a private one, but we didn't find it here.
All right. Yeah, but what happened to you since you were here? I mean, you found big money, wasn't it?
Last winter, yes. Well, the experience last year was quite overwhelming in terms of making contact to VCs, really. It's unbelievable. I think we collected about 40, 50, 60 business cards from VCs.
at CeBIT, at Code N.
Yes, on these 5 days here last year, yes. They were all just running around here scouting for new business models they could invest in. And actually we were looking for a good funding.
Before that, you bootstrapped your company, or did you have investment?
Well, we had seed investments.
Seed money. Okay.
Right. Yes, but we came to a point where we understood that we needed a lot of more money than just seed money in order to do some more R&D and in order to scale the sales process. And we had quite a few very good talks to different VCs. And yes, finally last year, yeah, we closed our Series A, and
which was only announced like a few weeks ago, isn't it?
That's true. Yes,
yeah.
End of January. Yeah, Target Partners is our investor, extremely reputable, extremely experienced. I can only really recommend if you are looking for a VC to talk to them. They're good guys.
All right. So thank you very much for these really interesting insights. Do you have any questions? Any follow-up questions? No? So then, a big applause to these guys, and thank you for the insights, and good luck for the future.
Thank you.